hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer, a screamer.
What is going on, entertainers? So today I'm coming to you guys with another recap on Blueface's No Jumper interview. You know how we're dealing with so much Crips. I thought I'd dress up as the blood with the red do-rag since we're dealing with so much Crips. So we have a little bit of an even match and an even kill. You feel me? So make sure before I get started on this recap, make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Okay, so of course, it's all already trending all over the blogs. They dropped like a preview, I remember yesterday, so I know it was gonna sort of go super viral. But first I'm just going to yes, the do-rag. First, I'm gonna like recap it and give my thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna start taking calls and stuff at the end. Y'all already know how we do. Okay, so first it starts off the interview with that Chrisean's clearly drunk. Like, clearly drunk. Super drunk. Super duper drunk. The only interview I've seen her really do like completely sober is the B Simone interview. And that's why I like that B Simone interview, because she was able to tell us some stuff and be authentic with us, and she was sober. Okay, so we actually got some good answers out of this. This you could already tell this has been one of those days where, you know, she was drinking off that Cuda Brown, you feel me? Drinking that Hennessy, that Bonk, all that. You could already tell, like, it's obvious. Because the whole time she's like, yeah, Blee, like, yeah. And then she's like looking around like, yeah. She's looking around like that. So the moment I seen that, I said, oh, no, that explains that viral moment. It makes so much sense now. So she should do all her interviews sober from now on. So, first, Sharp, y'all know how Sharp is, and Sharp surprised me in this interview because for those of you who know No Jumper, and for those of you who follow Sharp, okay, he's the Cheeto man off of the Cheetos. You know, the Cheeto man. He be like, yeah, great. That's Sharp. He's the Cheeto man. Like, he's very, you know, loud in your face, and he gets bad, especially when women disrespect him. That's one thing that triggers Sharp. So the fact that he didn't snap as much as he's done in the past, I was shocked completely, because Sharp is not the one to be Mr. Nicey Nice and let stuff slide and I mess with you, so I'm gonna let it go. Blase. Sharp not that guy. So the way he was acting, it threw me. Maybe he getting his Debbie Case play with like WAC 100, so he was in good mood, because I was like, I'm confused. So if we get into what brought them together, which is the trauma. So what Sharp says the trauma is what brought them together, and he was trying to ask them what type of trauma brought them together. Of course, Rock wasn't having it. The moment she heard trauma, it was like she got irritated. The trauma that brought them together, of course, is their family. None of their either of them don't like their family like that. So that's what brings them together. Oh, I'm getting a pimple. Okay. That's that's what brought them together. Their trauma. Both of them don't like their family. Blueface doesn't like the mama. Chrisean is embarrassed of her family and feels as if her family uses her to sort of like get money and to put so much pressure on her. So that's the trauma that brought them together. That's what Sharp was trying to get through to her and try to elude, but it wasn't really getting through to her. Okay. Hey, Black Empress. And then they talk a little bit about academics, because he was basically saying a lot of people that that said that the show wouldn't be a good idea for them to do, they still tune in and they still, you know, a recap and report on it. I said, let me find out that Blueface is an entertainer, that he watches the kid, okay? That he watches my channel. Like that kind of hit, no count. If he did, I'd feel like that guy. Like, for real. So he was basically really calling out academics. Y'all know academics sort of called out Blueface like a long time ago, like throughout a bunch of years, talking about him and Chrisean and everything like that. But he still tunes in for the show, was tweeting about it lately was basically live tweeting about Blueface and Chrisean and giving them free promo at that. So he basically saying Whack 100 is a weirdo, and Rocky was kind of like backing him up, like, yeah, that nigga weird, bro. Yeah, he real weird, bro. Like, no cap. And if you guys don't know, Academics was supposed to interview Rock at one point, but I think something dealing with money had to do with it, and that's why the interview didn't end up going through. But I do remember that they were supposed to do some sort of interview together. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But this was before she got on Zeus. You said, I'm sure Blueface watches these channels and reads the comments. If he does, hi, Bleed. Um, so we get into why they got into that whole fight with the glass, okay? Right? Apparently, he called her a B word. He called her a B word, and he ended up she ended up getting mad at him because she called him the B word first, from what he says, and then he said it back, and then they started getting an argument. And I guess she tried to get physical and realized that Blueface is a strong Crip, so she went for a walk and came back with a glass. It might have been this glass. Please get your your merch. It's giving powder donuts. Sorry for the green screen if it's giving like a weird effect, but oh yeah, here we go. It might have been this glass called It's Giving Powder Donuts. So it might have been the Pierre Prince merch, the Evner Entertainment merch. You feel me? But he ended up I didn't play that in there. She ends up popping him with the glass upside his head. And Blueface said that when she came back from the walk, she was in front of the slide through glass door and was about to come in. So he says he's a Crip. So he said he knew better than that. So he knew not to let her in or try to like keep her out until she kind of calmed down. But some way she got in. Next thing you know, they started to get into fisticuffs. She threw the glass upside his head. So now we could clear the rumors that she called him one of the girls or exposed him for being one of the girls. Okay, because that's what we all thought. Because we're like, why are you getting so mad over something so simple? But it was over, I guess, the B word is what he's claiming. Okay, and then Sharp tries to intervene and tell Chrisean to sort of like calm down, and because she was really getting mad about the whole B word thing. Here's how I feel about it. Nobody in no relationship could be calling each other a B. That's why when dudes, they be like, yeah, that's my B, that's my B. It's weird because let's say you get mad at her, you be like, you a B. So then you can't say, no, you can't call me no B, but then you let him call you a B with him claiming you with that's my B. You get what I mean? So I feel like nobody in relationships should say the B word. Like, just keep that out the vocabulary, out the vernacular. Like, no, because then it gets tricky. It gives me very much. Remember when Real Housewives of Atlanta, when they were all on that boat and Cynthia and Portia got into that fight, and then Cynthia was like, Portia was just like, go get your friend B. Okay, I can't say the word because I don't know how you two do. Go get your friend B. And then Cynthia was like, hold on. Don't you call me a B. Meanwhile, the whole time they were on the boat, they were calling each other all types of Bs. So it gets tricky. So don't say it. Okay? Unless you know the person like that. Then it's kind of like, then they could kind of slide or whatever. So, of course, you guys, make sure you guys hit that like button. They start getting into like the whole cup situation. Rock didn't really want to talk about it during the whole interview. She didn't really want to get into it because she doesn't like being exposed. That's one thing that Rock, I noticed. She doesn't like being exposed to other people. And one thing with this interview, what I like, Sharp and Gina, they were about to at least ask questions that we really actually wanted to know. And I think Rock sort of peeped that. That's why she got so scared and didn't want to continue the interview and started tripping, because she knew that Sharp and Gina weren't gonna just let her slide without asking like the hard-hitting questions, the stuff that we actually wanted to know. That's why you could see Rock was getting super irritated. He tried to intervene, and Rock tells Sharp to shut up. I said, oh my god, this about to go left. This about to go left. Sharp about to go crazy. Y'all know how Sharp do. Sharp about to do him a big one. Sharp about to do him big one. He was just like, no, he was like, no, I'm being quiet with you. He was like, you know, I mess with you, Rock, but you can't tell me to shut the up. No, you shut the up. He was like, on schoolyard, bro. If I had a chick, they wouldn't be talking to me like that, Blue. You a real one, Blue. You a patient one, Blue. So he was on that tipping edge, but it's only because he's familiar with Rock because of Blue Girls Club, and he's like has a little bit of rapport with her. I think that's why he let her slide. But let that have been another female guest, and they told Sharp to shut the up, it would have been a wrap. It would have been a big wrap. Sharp began everybody's guess for real. Gina views no, she was annoyed towards the interview. Yeah, she was embarrassed. She's been like, yeah, exactly. And then we get into the whole B debate. I told you how I feel about that. Rock, you guys, is clearly drunk and emotional. I'm talking about like drunk boots. She's like, yeah, daddy, like, no, give me the alcohol, bro. I want the bro. Give it to me, bro. Mind you, they talk about the comparison to Bobby and Whitney. And Blue says he doesn't think that's true because he doesn't think that they rely on any substances and stuff like that. I said, so alcohol is not no substance? It is. That's what it is. Y'all Bobby and Whitney because alcohol replaces the powder donuts. Because Bobby and Whitney, they did powder donuts, but what replaces that is the bottle, is the Henny bottle. So you guys are like Bobby and Whitney because the only thing that's different is it's alcohol, not powder donuts. So I don't know why he was trying to make it seem as if people are kind of tripping with that whole comparison because not him, he's not the one with the drinking issue, but she's the one with the drinking issue. So that's why people compare them to Bobby and Whitney a lot, to be honest. Okay. And then after that happens, she starts to get really, really emotional and starts crying and stuff like that. And she gets into it with Sharp because she was just like, yeah, if he gonna call me a B, I'm gonna call him a B too. That's what I'm finna do. Yeah, that's what I'm finna do. I don't give up, bro. I don't give up, bro. That's what I'm finna do. And what he gonna do about it? Then what you gonna do about it? She starts to get like a little like rough with Sharp. So I'm like, the whole time watching, I'm like, you barking up the wrong tree because Sharp used to be a pimp in real life. Like that's not the guy. You feel me? Like that's not the guy. She want to really try, but y'all know how Rock do. She doesn't really care, so she just keeps going. She keeps going. She keeps going, and then Sharp starts to get a little bit defensive and starts to sort of go at her and says that I like you. That's the only reason why I'm not really snapping on you. And Gina, y'all, this is where Gina had me. Gina goes, okay, I want to ask you a question. And I'm not against you, Rock. You're saying that so she doesn't hit you. That's why you had to put that disclaimer in there. Like, I'm not against you, so don't jump on me. Okay? Don't get on me. I'm not against you. Okay? For those of y'all, I'm wearing red, y'all, because we witnessed some Crip-like behavior. So to balance out the Crip-like behavior, I had to wear red to represent the Bloods. But we have no affiliation. Okay? Just to let you guys know. So then Gina tries to ask a question about just like the whole relationship and stuff like that. And she starts to get super, super emotional and starts to cry because Blueface was at one point trying to talk to Sharp, and it was like she doesn't listen. See, like right, this one right here, she don't listen, but basically, sort of not directly addressing her, but sort of talking about her. So she gets mad at that and starts to like cry. She's just like, "Bro, I love you, bro. Like, I love you, Blue. No, you can't do that, bro. You can't look at me, bro. Look at me, bro." Like, Sharp and Gina are just looking at them like. So then Blue is already irritated. At that point, I really wish they had did the interviews separately. I really wish they didn't do it as a couple. I feel like them doing it as a couple, we've seen a couple of those interviews done already, which were not the best because they didn't ask them the correct questions. Even though I feel like kind of the same thing would have happened, but it probably would have been worse because at least Sharp knows them like that. Had it been another person, it would have went a whole different direction. Okay, so she starts to sort of like grab at him. She starts to like grab at him, and Blueface wasn't having it. Because one thing Blueface he loves to say is as a man. As a man. Okay, he loves to say that line. As a man, blah blah blah. So he was just like, as a man, you can't be grabbing on me like that. As a man, you can't be grabbing at me like that, and stuff like that. So she starts to get irritated. He grabs on her, pulls her up. She's like, "No, Blue, what are you talking about? What are you doing, bro?" Blueface is feeling helpless at this point because he puts her towards the side and no security kind of helps him out. So he's calling for no jumper security. And in my head, I'm thinking, does no jumper even have security? Answer me that. But apparently they did. They came out of the woodwork somewhere, but they came a little late because Blueface was getting really frustrated. He was very, very frustrated. Starts to get really mad. And this is the point where I really thought Sharp was gonna snap because she started to kick and break things in the studio. And one thing with people that don't know that like they don't know when it comes to like electronics, platforms and stuff like that, that stuff is not cheap. This camera I'm recording on right now is like near $2,000. This laptop I'm recording on near 2K. So it's like people don't get these things. Like it's not cheap. Like there's not a little $100, 200. No, baby. Like we're spending bands on these type of stuff. So I hate the fact that she started kicking and doing all that type of stuff because it's like people spending money on that type of stuff and they're probably gonna send an invoice to her. So she's really wasting her own money, to be honest. Because those TVs and all those electronic stuff that she kicked, I could bet you money Sharp and No Jumper are sending an invoice directly to Zeus and they're taking that out of her baddie's check reunion. Her baddie's reunion check. And that's facts, okay? I'm just saying. And probably billing it to Blueface because all her money goes to his account anyways. So they escort her out and stuff like that. The security's having a hard time to get her out. Blueface is relaxed because he goes back and sits down and he's telling her to like to get the security, like telling Tiny, which is his security. Tiny, you guys, is the guy that was in the Blueface and Chrisean episode on Zeus, the one that was sitting there smiling. The one that was sitting there smiling, saying, "Oh, y'all crazy, y'all crazy." So it was him, the big, he's like a big dark skinned dude. So he was the one that ended up, I think, taking her out eventually out of the room so that way she could sort of calm down. Mind you, Blueface was keeping a very, calm demeanor. I will say this about Blueface. He's very calm. And those are the worst type of people to fight. Because the people that are always the happiest, always like cheery go lucky, when you get them mad, it's like a wrap. So he's that type of person because he was so calm and he was so patient. He really could have went overboard during that whole interview, to be honest. He really, really could have. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. And then they end up taking her out and they continue the interview, with him just by himself. And I only watched up into a little bit of it because a lot of the stuff that Blueface usually talks about, we already kind of knew. He did say something though in this interview when he was by himself that he never really has said before. If he did, it really wasn't as viral as this interview. He talked about how he lost his passion for music. I already said this. Blueface, I'm telling you, I do not see him rapping 10 years from now. I feel like he needs to really put his passion. I've said this in I think like an after show or two before. He needs to put his passion in boxing. I feel like that's something that when he was doing it, when he did the matches and stuff like that, he really enjoyed doing it and he was winning too. I feel like if he puts his like passion stuff into doing that, he could really become successful at it. He talked about when he dies, he doesn't want to leave a legacy of just being a rapper. And I'm like, right now, you're just gonna leave a legacy of you being you and Chrisean, you being Chrisean's boyfriend. Like that's the legacy you're leaving right now since you're with her. So you might want to, clean up that legacy you're talking about, boy, because no, like it's a no-go. You need to get away from her. That's what you need to do. And of course he's doing an interview by himself. And then he talks about not getting his flowers. Now, this, I'm telling you guys, Without Blueface, we would not have a Baddies West. A Baddies West, South, North, Antarctica. All right, because Blueface started Blue Girls Club, and Natalie was the one who seen him making money from it, and Natalie wanted the same thing. Had he not did that, I really feel like Baddies would not be on Zeus right now. I swear to you, it would not be on Zeus. And Natalie has said this before, says that the fact that she's seen him doing Blue Girls Club, she wanted to do the same thing because she felt like, wow, my bad. She felt like, wow, you're ripping off of the Bad Girls Club platform and idea and concept, and you're making a lot of money from it. Why don't we just do it too? So I'm telling you guys, without Blueface, no Baddies would exist. So he doesn't get his flowers enough for this too, and he also doesn't get his flowers enough for him being one of the first people to start their own network. Even the OnlyFans isn't his own network, it's still like his own separate entity where he's getting a whole lot of money from, where he doesn't have to give a whole chunk away to like a big network. You get what I'm saying? It's not like he's under VH1 or MTV or one of these networks, which would be the ones making more of the money, and then whoever owns it would get some, but not as much as he would doing it on his own on OnlyFans. Which I saw that he's not doing Blue Girls Club on OnlyFans anymore, and that they're leaving OnlyFans. Where do you guys think they're gonna go? Do you guys think Zeus is gonna pick up Blue Girls Club? Because if they pick up Blue Girls Club, Baddies is slowly but surely gonna die down. Because I'm telling you, Blue Girls Club actually has good content, and they actually have people that are hungry to be on TV and have like talents, rapping and stuff like that. So Blue Girls Club ends up getting picked up by Zeus, which I think it probably will. It's gonna end up being like, I feel like, bigger than Baddies. All right. And then he talks about the family fighting him and them inviting the brother like to their house and stuff like that. So if y'all don't know, the week that the episode aired where Blue knocked out Chrisean's daddy, Rock's brother was staying with them. So imagine how awkward that felt when, you know, they hang out, they like, yee, I love you, Blue, I love you, brother, yee. And then they watching the episode, and then they see the brother talking about, you see that crip over there? You see that crip? You see that crip over there? Knock that nigga out. Knock that crip out. Knock him out. Right? So when Blue said, when he saw that, he was like, whoa, you're a snake. So that's when it kind of got awkward a little bit after that. He ends up leaving, and that's when we see the clip when he was in the airport talking about Blueface in a negative way. Okay? So he said that he thought that was weird, and he feels as if the family should have came to him like another way, and blah 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 blah. Right? Sharp was talking some real stuff though, because Blue in this interview admits that he does love Chrisean. Okay, so they are crazy in love. So he admits that, and Sharp was just like, "But you love her, but you. Let me tell you something. You gotta love somebody to let them go. You gotta love somebody to let them go, Blue. That's what you gotta do." Which I'm just like, thank you, Sharp. Thank you, Sharp. Okay, as much as some stuff Sharp says I don't really agree with, and he's sort of, he's sort of out there. That was the truest stuff he ever said. Okay, me doing Sharp is straining my throat muscles. I gotta do it. Yeah. Okay, so that was one of the truest stuff he ever said, because you could tell now Blue is in love with her now. So now that he's in love with her, he's not willing to let go as much as he would of maybe a couple years ago. So that now they're both in a dangerous spot, because he loves her and she is more than in love with him. She's like she's fond of him. That's even more. Okay, so that's where they're in the dangerous territory. And Sharp was basically telling him, like, you need to sort of kind of let that go, because you're gonna get yourself in a dangerous situation. And he was basically saying, oh, he doesn't want to give up on her and stuff like that. A part of me, I believe him 100%. Don't get me wrong, but like a part of me in back of my mind is thinking, yeah, you don't want to give up on her, and also she's sort of helping you out though financially. I'm just saying, he is helping her. Don't get me wrong. I think he's helping her 100%, like 100%. He's helping her to be able to cope with certain things, even though they're both toxic in their ways. But don't kind of leave out the fact that like she makes you trend too, and she's helping you get some coins too. Because I feel like this. Had Rock never got on Zeus, I don't think Blue would have gotten like around the Zeus crew type stuff. I know there's been talks of Blue Girls Club being on Zeus in the past, but like I feel like that wouldn't have been set in stone had Rock not hopped on the baddies train. That's just what I think. So like I said, Blueface said he talked about how he lost his love for music, and he said after C19, that's when it happened. And then we get into the SEX tape leak when Chrisean was bouncing her Big Debbie cakes, and they were making Boston cream, on that couch. She was boot 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 Boston cream boot 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 Boston cream boot 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 cream filling. Okay, so we still do not know if that's Aquafina water or if that's Boston cream. Right? She says that he says that he doesn't know why Chrisean did it because she feels as if that only made her look dumb because either girls wanted to get with Blueface or they were talking in the comments about whether it was Aquafina or Boston Cream, which it looked like Boston Cream to me. Okay, I'm just saying. So Gina asked a really, really good question. Gina says, so the fact that she's willing to sabotage herself in order to prove a point, because Blue says she does that a lot and he doesn't know why she does that. Do you think doesn't that scare you? And Blue says no, because he's a Crip. You're gonna have to stop using that excuse for everything, okay? Because when you dying, you can't say I'm a Crip and then you just become alive again. No, you're gonna die. Like God's not gonna save you because you're a Crip. Okay? I'm just saying. I hate how he uses that excuse for everything. Crip doesn't make you invincible. It doesn't give you a suit of armor. Okay? It might give you a blue bandana, but it doesn't give you a suit of armor. So I hate how he keeps saying that. Because you guys got to understand, there's going to come a day where they go a little bit too far and they're not going to be able to take it back. And it's probably going to be Rock that does it because she's more unhinged than he is. And she doesn't think about situations. And he actually does think about situations more in depth, and he's actually mature, and she's not. So she's the one that's going to end up doing something that she regrets. They made a really good point with him with the whole glass thing because she hit him with the glass, and then afterwards was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Blee. I'm sorry," and tried to vacuum it out the head and everything like that. We get into the whole Island Boy thing, and when they brought out Island Boy, I said he's beefing with the Bobby Boy, Island Boy. I said, let me find out Jameson was just like, I don't like you, Blee. Okay, I don't like you and Chrisean Rock. But no, it was the Island Boy from Miami, the ones with the dreadlocks. I was like, whoa, that threw me when they said Island Boy. I said, I know Jameson is not hip in this interview, beefing with Blueface over what? Okay, so they were talking about the whole Island Boy thing and how Island Boy is now like a fan of Blueface, is basically texting him like, "Hey, do a song with me, do a song with me." This is the thing with this industry and stuff, that people are so weird, especially when it comes online. They may act like they hate you, but low key they like you so much that like it's so weird. They like you so much that they're afraid to show you that, so they just throw hate at you. But deep down, they really is a fan of you, to be honest. So I'm glad that they kind of sort of talked about that, because y'all saw how the Island Boy was sort of disrespecting his mom, disrespecting Chrisean, talking about how Chrisean's ugly, this and that, and everything like that. So yeah. And then we get another retelling of what happened between Da Mama, Rock, and the whole fight. Y'all know when she threw sorcerers, mason jars, the refrigerator. She threw she threw a fridge. Okay, she threw everything at him at her that she can. Everything that was inside, a lamp. Okay, a wishing well. Everything at Rock, because we still don't know what was actually really thrown at her. The same story that he says is the same story that we heard on the show. Okay. After then, I kind of tuned out of the interview because it was sort of a lot of stuff that we've heard before. And we hear during the later half of the interview, we hear Rock in the background like yee. It was distant. All you could hear is yee, bleed. So then everybody looking off camera, and they're like, "Is that Sharp?" Is like, "Is that Rock? Oh, that's Rock. Damn, look at Rock." She's back there. Apparently, she got in some sort of way. And Rock, Blueface, I guess, went to go and kiss her. I was like, wow, he really loves her. That's crazy. I can't fight anybody else. Let me stop. Child don't care. I want the money. Okay. All right. So that kind of concludes the interview. To me, this interview was low key a waste of time when she was there. It only really got good after she left. I don't think they ever should do couples interviews at all unless they're in a couples therapy if they want to actually be a real couple, because it's just never going to work out, especially with her being drunk so many times. I do think at this point she needs to check in a rehab like 100%. Like 100%. I'm gonna start taking calls now. So make sure you guys drop the make sure you guys join the link. I see some of you guys already. Make sure you guys drop click the link down here if you guys want to call in and give your opinion on the interview if you did watch it. I do think she needs to go into like a rehab now because it's only going to get worse. First, it's going to be alcohol. Next thing you know, it's going to be the powdered donuts. Next thing you know, it's going to be the sprinkle donuts, i.e. Gutta K. Because I heard he's doing sprinkle donuts. When I was in my little hiatus, I heard he's doing sprinkle donuts. It's not even powdered donuts. He's doing that Tina. It's even worse. Okay? But shout out to Sharp though for asking or trying or attempting to asking the questions that we actually wanted to know. It's sad that we didn't get a lot of the answers that we wanted to because she was drunker than a Cuda Brown. And but hey, and Gina, you look cute, girl. Okay, I like me some Gina. I think she down. Okay, I like her. I wanna be down, down. She gives me very much 90s vibes. Okay, so I like Gina a lot. All right.